I'm terrified. This could happen next door to my house, in my neighborhood. Like, my wife sits regularly in between the two houses and smokes late at night. This girl deserves justice. Whatever justice can be given in this world, she deserves it. My heart goes out to her family. I can't even imagine. I have a daughter myself, and I can't even imagine the grief that they're going through right now.
Child, the Dacara Thompson case has become a topic of discussion. And darling, based on what I've learned, there's a good probability that the car situation is not unique to Hugo Hernandez Mendez. If not, why would he keep multiple pairs of lingerie and underwear in his room that might have belonged to various women? According to rumors, several residents in his neighborhood think he might be related to the numerous other missing person cases nearby. However, several aspects of the case still don't make sense, such as the fact that Dacara voluntarily got into the car, even though her own car was already full of gas. After all, she could have simply went after him. Additionally, it didn't occur to her that abandoning her car, phone, pocketbook, ID, money was a horrible choice in and of itself. People continue to ask, what did they have in common for her to be a baby? Connecting with him? Did she sell herself, as some people on social media have suggested? This can only be ascertained, of course, if the police divulge information from the car's phone, which they currently possess. The information that has already been revealed is very terrifying. Let's get straight to what is happening. Alright, so Cody, the family's neighbor, shared more details about what he saw. Additionally, he claimed that early on August 23rd, he went outside his home and saw something burning in the suspect's backyard. He claimed that the scent emanating from Hugo's backyard was more akin to trash or something strange than burning bush. I think they may have been burning evidence, he stated. Cody added that he had reported an ash pile he had spotted back there to the detectives.
It smells more like something you'd smell akin to like a trash burning or something like that. I would be willing to bet that they were burning evidence of some sort. I know that when I told the detectives this, I know that ash pile that was back there is no longer back there.
I understand now that Cody might not have heard all of the details. However, the fact that there were people in the house while the car was unaltered is what many people find bothersome. The other residents of that tiny house must have heard her yelling and fighting, or at least some kind of struggle, child. She was also discovered naked, not wrapped in something, implying that they would have heard her if she had struggled. Anyway, cops had previously spoken to one roommate who said they heard Dara and Hugo having a conversation, aside from Cody. Sexual contact, followed by an odd grunting sound that led them to believe that one of them wasn't a willing participant after all. A few hours after waking up later that evening, according to their roommate, they noticed something strange when they went outside. Hernandez Mendez had lost the GMC he usually parked in front of. They stated they found this strange because the car was nearly always in its typical location, and he is said to not work on Saturdays. Two other housemates, meanwhile, had nothing further to contribute. Since their quarters are on the other side of the house from Hernandez Mendez's, they informed investigators that they had not seen or heard anything during those crucial August 23rd evening hours. When asked, a family member who shares a home claimed to be Hernandez Mendez's cousin. She expressed her surprise to investigators that someone from her own family might have something to do with this. However, she also acknowledged that Hernandez Mendez had been acting strangely for the preceding few weeks, and she hardly saw him about. She went so far as to say that she pushed him to tell if he knew anything. Additionally, she clarified that throughout the inquiry, officers brought in after being questioned by her husband, Hernandez Mendez, and another relative, the two were released. However, Hernandez Mendez was not. To further complicate matters, the very next federal immigration officers returned to the house in the morning and took her husband into custody. However, the cousin said that her husband cooperated and had nothing to do with Dara's case, completely with investigators, and found it incomprehensible that an immigration case against her spouse was abruptly brought on by her cousin's criminal inquiry. Perhaps all of the residents of the two protect themselves. The modest house is hiding the facts. Because considering the manner in which Dara passed away, it is impossible to convince people that they were unaware of what was happening in Hugo's bedroom. The specifics of what transpired in Dacara are now available. On August 31st, shortly before 5 p.m., Maryland State Police received a call regarding a disabled vehicle on Annapolis's Route 50 between Route 424 and Route 97. That little bridge across the South River was where the automobile was parked. However, When the troops arrived, they noticed something far more unsettling, a body about 30 feet below the surface of the embankment. On September 3rd, a few days later, detectives met with Dacara's family, and they said that by using the pictures her loved ones sent, they were able to match the remains to her. Tragically, she suffered significant facial and skull fractures. Her relatives ultimately verified that it was Dara, recognizing her not just from those wounds, but also by her tattoos and the jewelry she consistently wore, the item. In other words, Dacara's father told authorities that he had last seen his daughter on the evening of August 23rd, shortly before 9:00 p.m., 22nd after she informed him that she would return shortly after going out to purchase gas. However, the vehicle never made it back home. Obviously, that caused her family members were concerned. When she hadn't come home a little while later, her father claimed to have called her, but she didn't pick up. On August 24th, after she failed to return home, family members followed the last, and they all used the Find My Phone app to report their locations. Evidently, upon determining the car's position, they discovered that it was switched off, and that the last location where it was turned on was close to the junction of Riggs Road and Jasmine Terrace. Police then carried out a search request and discovered what they thought evidence in the bedroom and in the trash, including several pairs of women's underwear and lingerie, hair, a wig, and what appeared to be Dara's blood, and missing white-pink French manicured fingernail. After that, Hugo Hernandez Mendez was taken into custody and accused of first and second-degree murder in connection with the horrific death of Dacara Thompson, age 19. Additionally, ICE issued a detainer for those who labeled an illegal alien criminal and promised Dara's family justice. Investigators have also stated that they think Hugo and Dacara Thompson entered his bedroom early, on the morning of August 23rd, after which her body was driven to Annapolis's Route 50, which runs between routes 424 and 97, and thrown over the short bridge. The matter is still pending, and as of right now, Hernandez Mendez is still detained without bond, and he is scheduled to appear in court again on October 8th. However, several individuals have stated that Hugo's roommates ought to face accessory charges as well. There must have been sounds emanating from his room if Dacara was fighting back after being battered and her nail had come off. Additionally, the hit ought to have been loud enough to be heard by everyone else in the house. Yes, they have given investigators some information, but people continue to believe that there is more going on here. As I mentioned earlier, rumors in the area are not limited to the car's situation. Some residents think Hugo may be connected to other cases of missing persons in the region, and it seems that quite a few have occurred. After investigators allegedly discovered lingerie and underwear in his bedroom resembling these trophies, the rumors only intensified. As well as mementos, the revelation feels like a smoking gun, pointing to something much darker for many who are already wary of Hugo. Additionally, that myth alone is enough to chill the neighborhood, as a number of people have previously disappeared under suspicious circumstances. Will the recovered evidence be used to identify further women? Let's wait and find out. The fact that Hugo was free has also generated a lot of discussion. The man has, however, been busted more than once for several infractions, such as drunk driving. Actually, several DUIs. As if his carelessness wasn't enough, he was also found guilty of rolling around with alcohol in an open container in his vehicle as if he were on a party excursion. The driving style, or lack thereof, comes next. Consider running red lights, ignoring stop signs. He can park wherever he wants. Officially, the term means driving an automobile carelessly and disregarding traffic control devices. But in reality, it simply shouts, "I am exempt from all regulations." You essentially have a hazard on wheels when you combine those dangerous lane changes. The worst part is still to come. Once, Hugo was even observed operating a vehicle while suspended. Authorization. This individual, after all, is one who obviously believes that traffic laws are optional. The mother of the car even said she felt let down by the fact that he was a free man.
I'm very disappointed, finding that out now, because we may not be here today if they did what they were supposed to do.
In relation to Dara's mother, she has also seen the numerous remarks made on her daughter's self-destruction, and what she described Dara as an extroverted, gentle, empathetic, and free-spirited young woman. She mentioned that many people have been criticizing her character on social media and made it clear that you shouldn't trust anything you hear or everything you see. Additionally, she stated that out of regard for the family, please be gracious in all that you do. Still, others have pointed out that this should serve as a warning to young girls as well. Maybe we should wait for investigations to finish before drawing any judgments, though. What is more worrisome is if this isn't a singular instance, as the neighbors believe. The additional lingerie and underwear discovered might have been receipts for the "are other women experiencing the same thing?" And what else do Hugo's other residents know? This might be bigger than we thought, baby. Additionally, please share your thoughts in the comments section while we wait for additional information. Down below,